Welcome back. Wasn't that a fucking beautiful week? So, weekly recap video today. And I think this will be a longer one, just because I will go through everything. So, for the start, this is my method for tracking all the stocks. We start with V&A, or just a V if there is no A, then hello, then you go up to your A. Most of the time you pull back from the 0.5 fib, or just break a retest of a trend line. Then you go to your B, also 0.5 fib, no V on the A for the pullback for B. Then you go up to your C, that's your peak. Then lower high. Then you make a lower low from the lower high. Go up again to your M peak. You can put a trend line from your B bottom to your M peak. Most of the time it can happen you bounce on this trend line several times, then you fall under it, reject it, and then was one last time you reject it. Then you fall down, make a new lower low, form the low of between L and M, and then you go up to a T, your last time to sell, and then you fall to your V under A. Then you make a higher low, and the whole thing starts again. And most of the time, your next A point is on the trend line from T, or a little bit over it or under it. The same for B. Most of the time it's on the line, a little bit over it, a little bit under it from the M line. Okay, so that's just the technicals from this method. So let's jump into our first chart, BYND. So I will try to show for every stock bullish version and a bearish version, and give my opinion about it, which I more lean into. So for BYND, let's start. I only have a kind of bullish version, just because the bearish version means this play is over. So for the bullish version, you come from your C, you do your slightly lower low, then go to your M, then a long fall to your T, and then a quick drop to your V and A, which is invisible, but I know here's the IPO, but most of the times it's just hidden data. So you can say something like this, and this would mean then this is your V and A. So let's look a little bit closer what we have done here. So for the bullish tracking, we already did our A peak, which is in the same time our big A peak and our little C peak. It is a little bit higher than our T, but still working. We are now right now in the pullback of A, and if this is if this is finished for the bullish tracking, your next target is $43, which again could be a little bit higher or lower. Then 0.5 pullback wherever the bottom of A is. So it would look like, let's say, exactly say the A button will be at 88 cents. And the B peak would be at 43. Then your pullback would be here at $6. And then we will look if we break all-time highs again or not. Okay. So what did we do this week? I had a bullish alternative where I said there would be a chance that we take the 0.5 from the absolute bottom to the peak. This would be this line, and bounce here. we didn't. Or from the higher low to the peak, which we also didn't. So for me right now, it's quite confirmed. We will play out the whole fractal. And that means we have our A peak and our little C peak. Here's our B and here's our little A. So we already did our lower high. We already did our little endpoint. And in my opinion, the peak on October 28 was our little T. And we are stretching it a little bit. But I think our next move, if quick or slowly, will go down to BYND around 88 cents. Could also be a little bit lower. Then you bounce there, make a higher low. Most likely could be however this trend line will look then. So let's say we do it quick. So we go down, bounce here. I would say this would be a high low. Then we go to A pullback, B pullback, and then break. The thing is, it could be the same like we did here. And that would just mean wherever our bounce is, or whenever our bounce is, higher low, and then just go. Could be quick. For confirmation lines, I would say everything over 236 is bullish. Everything under 73 cents is bearish, and I would lean more to this play is over. And for the untrackable stupid thing, I mean, this is your T. You already did a lower low. A lower low of this, so you could say this could be a V, and you're forming right here, right now, a higher low, but it is nothing. It's no 0.5. This is big A and not big B. Only big B and middle B is allowed to make a lower high and not a BLNK. So for the untrackable, you can bounce here, but I would imagine we go down. Okay, next one. I nearly forgot. I mean, I'm making this video about SPY and then I'm not showing SPY. What the hell? So, for SPY, for the complete overview, the completely zoomed out tracking. So, this is the whole chart from IPO till today. From the IPO to 2009, this whole thing would be your high low. From 2009 till 2022, this would be your big A. And we're getting smaller and smaller, just saying. From October 22 to March 25, this was your big B. And right now, we are in the run to our big C. Wherever this is. This is just a placeholder. I'm not saying SPY is going to 1,200. I'm also not saying it's not. For the big tracking, whenever C is in my opinion, it will be the first time in history that SPY, also SPX, is reaching his big C. And many other stocks are in the same position. I would think it would be January to March next year, maybe earlier, maybe a little bit later. But whenever we are reaching big C, half of this tracking of this fractal is over. The next one is lower high, then the middle point, last time to sell, and our bounce button, the target, and bottom area would be around 200 for SPY. Just saying. This would be the crash everyone is so fucking afraid of. But just saying, let's say, I don't know, in December we reach 900 on SPY. I'm not saying we are going down here. I mean, it's possible. I don't know what must happen for that. And a month later we are down here. No. In my opinion, this year will take at least 1 year. In my opinion, more like 2 to 5 years. So then let's look at the middle tracking. So for our middle tracking, I'm not going over all. This would be way too long. But we are looking at the last fractal from our C. And this is starting in April 2025. In April 25, this is our BYND. Then we're doing our high low. This here would be our A. From June 25 to October 2025, this whole thing was our B. And right now, since October 25 till today, or not till today, let's say we are still in our C. For the bullish tracking, we are still in our C. We just did a little pullback. So I think there's still a big chance that there will be another peak. So for our middle tracking. And now let's go in our small tracking. So this is our small tracking, and this was what the video was all about. So we have this big knife here from October 2025, which was our middle B and our small C. This was a perfect V&A. And since then, from October 2025 till, from October 10 to October 16, this whole thing was our higher low. From October 17 to October 22, this was our A. This whole thing was our A. And from October 22 to October 29 was our B. So our run to our B peak. I was waiting the whole week for that. B is not finished yet, in my opinion, but this is our B peak. It took way longer. It went a little bit higher, but okay. And since Wednesday, we are in our B pullback. So we can delete this. So it's also our little micro C. So we did our lower high. We came down, did a lower low, came up again. This was our little M. We pulled lower again, come up again. This was last time to say. So, and now it gets interesting. I forget to put it on extended hours. Wait, why isn't it working? Give me extended hours. Yeah. No? Okay, now it's working. Technical difficulties. Okay. This was our TPIC. And now 2 versions. The first one, we have our 0.5 from the bottom of V to our B. That would be our price target 2. From higher low to our B, this would be our price target 1. And it could also be something in between, because we have here the gap to fill. So this gap was just a gap from yesterday to today. So that means nothing. So for the bullish version, without levers, because the pulled back already, made a lower low. So this could be your V. This already could be your higher low. And on Monday, you just go up. Okay. What I'm leaning more to, whatever news are coming out at the weekend, is that we gap down. We gap down on Monday, somewhere here. Would be perfect if we just open in some of these areas. This would be a V. You also would gap fill. Then you do your higher low, and then you go. And as I said before, it wouldn't be a V and A, because A should be, it could be A. This could be small a. But even if not, we are in our B here, and B doesn't have to do V and A. B only has to go to our 0.5. So I would imagine, and I'm really more leaning to, we will gap down Monday, open somewhere in here, and then we would go up. You would gap fill in the pre-market because you would open here, and then you go up and fill the gap to the downside, to the upside. Yeah. So let's see what happens. What will happen. I was waiting whole week for this pullback, and oh, I got it. Okay. Next one is NEO, bullish and bearish. So let's look at the bullish chart first. Here's our bullish chart. And as I mentioned already in the explanation of the method, I know here is the PO. But this wouldn't make sense to be C. It makes way more sense that this is M, especially because this is B. So it really makes sense with the trend line. So we just say there's still hidden data before that and draw it like that, which make this here your V under invisible A. So this whole thing is one fractal. This would be A. What we did from September 2019 to April 2025 would be a big B, which is ending in a higher low and not in a V and A because it's B. And right now, we would be in the run to our big C, which should be higher than our last peak, which is also all-time high. So let's look what we have done. So for the bullish tracking for NEO, we have here our low from B. We did already our higher low. We already did our A peak, which is perfectly matching with our T. And for the bullish tracking, we already did the 0.5 pullback, bounced, and are on the upside. For confirmation, everything over $8 kills the bearish alternative, just saying. And our next target would be 16. And from 16, you would take this bottom of A. If 16 is the B peak, you would go up here, pull back to 10.9-ish, and then we're talking about breaking all-time highs. If you break under 620 again, bearish alternative is coming into play. Nothing is changing here except that the A pullback is not finished yet. Price targets from A and B is the same, but this would mean, because this is your A peak and your little C peak, that would mean we already did our lower high. We maybe did already our M It is also possible that the M is going higher, but you're not allowed to break 783. You're not allowed to break the level of lower high. So you would reject here for your midpoint. You would come down again, come up. This would be your T. And then you go to your V under A. Higher low, and then you go. I have to say I am leaning more to this. Just because if you look at this, what is this? This here, yeah, let's look. Yeah, what is this? This is just left shoulder, right shoulder, head, right shoulder. And even if you measure this with this and put the line, you're perfectly coming here. And I mean, I don't care about head and shoulder patterns because so many times they just don't work. But if you look at this price action here, it's just the same like this price action here, and it's quite really one-to-one. You from 2020. You make your V, you make your high low, you make your left shoulder, you make your head, you make your right shoulder, and you go to V under A. Only slightly, I think it was a few cents, but still. This would be a V under A, this would be a high low, and then you go to your B. It's one-to-one to this here. And fractals have a nice, let's say, they like to repeat themselves. So I am leaning to this. If you break, as I said, over 804, forget the bearish tracking. Then it's this. Okay, next one is plug. Do you have, yeah, bullish and bearish version for plug. So let's look for the overview. This here is the complete overview for the bull version. So you're coming from your VLC down to your V. You just have to imagine again. Somewhere in here is your B, somewhere in here is your A, high, low, there's your V, and so this is your V and A. So this first one is finished. And because all this is lower than this peak, I would imagine that this here is also, or was also, your big C. And now we're starting all over again. From here to here, this whole thing was your higher low. Just because you can't say this is, for example, A or B, because B isn't going lower than A. The same like you can't say this is higher low and A, just because the same A isn't going lower than higher low. So this whole thing is your higher low. And right now we would be in our run to big A. So what have we done this week? So for plug, we are still looking for the bullish tracking for our A peak. And that would mean just because we didn't broke out of this trend line. Yeah. We at this point is near enough, but we didn't broke out. And you could easily say T is here. So I still think we're looking for our A peak. So this was our little B peak. And for the bullish tracking. So this is also our little C. Here's your lower high. This would be a midpoint. This right now, this on October 27 was our T. We're already lower than the start of T. And here is the 0.5, and we nearly touched it. So for the bullish tracking, this was the bounce. And you go up. Go to your A, which should be around 11 or 12, and your B should be around 31. Second bullish version would be, you still have to come down a little bit and touch the fib or go a little bit under it, and then you go up. Or you do your V and A, higher low, and then you go. So for confirmation levels, everything over 469 is bullish. If you break 216, that's too close. If you break 193, the bearish alternative takes place. And for the bearish alternative, this would be the bearish alternative. It isn't changing much. Also, the T would be the same, the A would be the same, B would be the same, but the difference would be that our last peak was T, not this one. This one was T. And you would look for a new low. The only question is it a higher low of 2013 or is it a lower low? If you break this level, I would just wait. I would wait for the bounce, for the higher low to hold, and then take a position. I will show that on other stocks when when we have confirmation for a bounce. What I'm leaning more to, I really don't know right now. I would say 60% bullish just because of this bounce here. 40% bearish. But I would like to see more confirmation for this. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Next one is Fuser. And I only have a bullish tracking here. Yet. So, for the complete overview, you're coming from your C. Lower high, midpoint. Fall down. Come up again. This was your T. Just because you could easily say, why isn't that your T? Just because this is lower. That's why. So this was your T. And you did your V down here. So for price targets, if we take the fractal rules 1-to-1, that would mean that at 880 would be your A. And for 19,000 would be your B. And I can tell you right now, I have the rule never be 100% convinced, but I can tell you that I'm 99.9999999% sure you don't get 19,000 per share. You won't. You can go up here, but with a split. Just saying. A split or reverse split isn't changing the fractals, just the number. This stock won't be worth $19,000 a share. Just saying. So don't wait for this bullshit. For our closer tracking, what we have done. So, you did your V, your not old term VNA, but because this is T, then you just tracked it, micro tracking with ABC. You're coming down again, lower high midpoint. Here's your midpoint. That's a realistic price target for your B at 165 and T at, what is that? $13. That would be your A. And C, is the question, are we breaking this last peak and go higher? Then we get a split. Same like Netflix is doing it right now, I think. Or are we rejecting here, making a lower peak and starting the death spiral? For the really small tracking, what we have done. So, a little bit more. Okay. So this is our real V. This here. And this whole thing, here. This whole thing here. I would even say from here to here. So this is our V. And this whole thing here is our higher low, which was holding. Perfect. And right now we are in A. And we already, in my opinion, could finish the A pullback. And the next target would be, because this was your T, so this is your A. Perfect. A little bit under it, but still perfect. And we are over the trend line. The next target for B is at 165. So, how is our A pullback looking? So for the little tracking, here is your A, here is your B, that was your little C. We are a little bit lower still. Yeah. So this would be a lower high. Then you came down, come up. This was your M. You made a lower low, came up. This was your T. You dropped. Did a V and A from this here, not this here. Bounced. We're holding the higher low. And run. Or ran. We broke our bull line, I said, I think the last 2 times for bullish confirmation break 8.38. Perfect. We are in the level from A peak right now. So you could get a pullback here, little one. What would that be? Yeah, 830-ish. But that's micro tracking, so you don't have to get this pullback. Maybe just a little one or nothing. Then you go to your B, maybe a little pullback or nothing, and then you just go. This thing looks like it. It not even looks like this thing is breaking out right now. Would it make sense? Yeah, you could say this would be your M. You came down again. Okay. As long as we're not, we do that different. It's just no one get how do you call that word? False ideas. Okay. Let's say if we break under, if we break under 747 again. So let's say this. I will make a bearish alternative. If we're still going up, forget the bearish alternative. The bearish alternative would just be something that this M and this T is wrong. This whole thing would be just M. And your target for V under A would be here at 617, and then you go. But we wait for it, and then I make the alternative. For bullish confirmation, everything over this everything over 11, and we don't even have to think about the bearish alternative anymore. Okay? And the no-no line, yeah, get the no-no line right now. This thing looks absolutely bullish. How quick? I mean, this stock is quite slow on the downside, but quite quick on the upside. So how long did this take? This took 2 years. Okay, how long did this took from higher low to B peak? 1 year. Yeah, okay. So from higher low, 300 days. That would be 2 next year. So, and you have this strong moves in between. For shares, it doesn't matter how long. For contracts, I always said go at least 6 months out for contracts. And let's say if you have the price target, no financial advice. Let's say if you have the price target of 165, I didn't look if I think there is an option chain. Just if you have the price target, for example, from 165, take 50% down of it. So that would mean strikes for maximum 80. The strike price 80, maybe even lower if they are cheap. But this thing looks bullish. So next one. Wow, 40 minutes already. Bed Bath and Beyond, bullish and bearish. Okay, here is Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm not going through everything here. Just this is our last V. The V before our V here, and that's the important one. You did your higher low, you did your perfect A, you did kind of perfect M, your peak with C, a lower high, midpoint, and for the bullish tracking, this would be a T, and we would already have made our A peak. And I really have to say, I'm absolutely not believing in the bullish variant anymore, but I'm still showing it. For the bullish variant, you have to bounce. You should have bounced a week ago. Just saying. And your next target would be B at $36. Pull back to 2022. To 2020. Now 22 to 22. So, and then the question is breaking all-time highs or not. For confirmation, everything over $10 would be bullish. Everything over $12 would be confirmation that we're going to be. But I already said, I mean, this V is already wrong because we already broke the high low and the V. We tipped under the no-no line the second time now on the daily. For me, there is no bullish version right now. For me, the bearish version is already in since a week, and that would just mean this wasn't your A, this was your T. And your next target is first a higher low from 2020 or a new all-time low from 2020, then higher low, and then your A is at 12, your B is still at 37 or 6, and then we talk about all-time highs. And no financial advice, again, this would be the perfect buy zone for this one. Why I'm leaning more to this is the same like NEO, just because if you watch here, you come from your M, you come from your M, you come go up again, you go up again, you make a M or W pattern, your right side is higher. And if you look here, you come from your M, come up again, you do your M or W pattern, and the right side is higher. And then you knife. And to see that, to make that absolute, in my opinion, and I'm convinced, let's say 980 to 9, very convinced, we are in this candle right now, in this bounce. It's the same like here. This is this bounce. And I said it's very bad if we break this line, and we already broke it 2 times. I really think there's a very, very, very good chance that we, and this move should be quick. The repetition of the earlier fractal can, and most of the time is bigger and longer, but this move is quite quick. So we should see strong moves to the downside very soon. So yeah, if we break over $12, perfect. I will be the first one who is saying I'm wrong. And the bullish tracking is taking over, but I still think we're going down. So next one is grab. For this I only have a bullish version. Here. But this is the bullish version for grab. Chinese company. And if the tracking for SPY that the pullback could be already finished on Monday, that would mean good news with China and America. And that would also mean China stocks make boom boom. Just saying. So this would mean this is your C, all the mice, lower high midpoint T. This is your V. This whole thing would be your higher low. This whole thing here would be your A, which we already got. Your next target is $10 for B, little pullback, or 0.5 pullback. And then your next question is, are you breaking all the highs or not? What have we done? So for the little tracking, here's your A peak, which is on the same time your big A, your middle B, your small C. Here's your BYND, little BYND, little higher low, little A, little B, little C. So what have we done? I think we have to go lower. Yeah. So we did today nothing. Okay. So we are, in my opinion, the A pullback is finished already. So you have your lower high here, your midpoint here, you drop even lower. This is your little T. You did your perfect V and A. Higher low is already finished. You did your little A again. Perfect lineup with the T. You did your little B peak, which is a little bit higher than your M. And you're in the pullback of a little B. Yeah. And you touched already the 0.5 line, which is here. And since then, you're just sideways. So this fractal is waiting for something. So everything over 617, bullish. Everything over 622, of course, absolutely bullish. If you go under 584, I would have to make an alternative, but I don't think right now. This thing looks bullish. Let's see. If you're breaking under this B line, I will look it up again. But right now, this thing looks bullish. Absolutely. Next target, $10. Let's see. Next one is Blink. Do I have an alternative for blink? No. Okay. So here's our blink chart. You are already in the third fractal. This would be your first one. This would be your second one. And right now you are on the way to your third one. Let's look at the lower time frame. In this case, I think we already did our A peak, our big one. We are under the T, but we are over the trend line. So this, and with the pullback, we are already too low. This was our A peak. Our B peak is at 26. And then the question is, are we breaking all-time highs or not? So what did we do? Today it was a quite good bounce. So here's your A peak, and at the same time your little C peak. We did already our lower high, our midpoint, and our T. These points are important because this will be your little next A, and this will be a little next B. 2 ways. The bullish version, 3 ways. Here's our fib. The bullish version is, we already did a lower low from our T. What I mean, this is lower than this. So this could be already a V. We are near the fib. We are making a higher low right now. And the next target is A. I wouldn't think about it. I don't think that. The bullish version, we still have to come down here and bounce on this fib. And then we go. I give that already 50%. Let's say 60% chance that this will happen. Or we really have to play out the whole thing. And we come down to our, I mean, this could take a little bit longer. To our V&A, our small V&A here, which would also be a breakout, perfect retest of this 4-year-old trend line, high, low, and then we go. I give this version the most percentage, I would say, if you're not breaking here. For confirmation lines, everything over 184, 85. So everything over this bull line is bullish. And of course, everything over $2 is here done. For confirmation to the downside, I would say everything under 147 is our B line. And we still have to do breakout retest. And I don't want to see anything under 88 cents because then I have to do a complete alternative chart. But right now, looks perfect. Okay, next one. Already 50 minutes in. My God. Okay, next one is AI. So for the overview, first fractal, and we would have finished already the second fractal. And for the bullish one, we're already in the third fractal. So let's look what we have done. So we're coming from our C, lower high, midpoint T. That's your next price targets. For A, $30, for B, $36. We already did our V&A. We already did our little higher low. And for the big tracking, this whole thing would be a higher low. And we are still looking, I mean, this is just a small tracking. Here and here. And we are still looking for our big A. So the only question is, this is the micro A. We nearly touched the fib. I think that could be enough. So for the bullish version, the pullback of this little micro A is finished, and your next target is B, little pullback. Then you go to your real A, pullback B, and so on and so on and so on. For confirmation, I think everything over, everything over $20 bullish. If you break under $16-13 again, do you have the old? Yeah. Then the bearish version would take over, and that would just mean that, let's look on the daily, yeah, this one, that we would exactly doing this here. We would still need one lower low. I think it will be a higher low to 2022, but we would still come down here. Then higher low, and then same price targets. Right now, I'm really 50-50 on this. I need more price action. It looks bullish. If it's doing that, I would expect this will take end of November, maybe end of December. It should be bullish for next year. Doesn't matter which one, if it's going up or if it still needs a lower low. Let's see. Okay, next one. Our squeeze play, or stupid 100% risk play, which no one should touch. So, for the overview, this stock is always gapping down, doing bullshit, gapping up, gapping down, doing bullshit, gapping up, gapping down, gapping up, gapping up, gapping down, all the way. And all these gap downs and gap ups are Friday pre-market, Friday after hours, Monday pre-market. Every single one, I think, what I looked. Prove me if I'm wrong, please. So, for the tracking, here's our V, here's our high low. We did our A pullback, always massive upsides, massive pullbacks. Then we go to our B pullback, C, LMT, gap down to our V and A. This, what we did the last weeks, months, was our high low. And right now, we have a very good chance for the bullish tracking. We are on the way to our A. And this A, or at least this gap here, would be a gap fill. So, for the bullish tracking, on the small tracking, this was our V, this was high low, this was our little A, and we did our little B peak. From this little B peak, we did our lower high, our midpoint. I think we have to go lower. Yeah. And I said this week, we maybe could see this and then touch this trend line, or we just go down and touch the trend line. So for this case, for the bullish case, this here somewhere or this here would be a T. And we touched the fib line. We went a little bit under it. So for the bullish tracking, this is our V. And we already have the higher low. And next Monday is your next chance. So next Monday pre-market is your next chance to just do this would be perfect. And that would be the same like this one here. You have your gap down, your V, high low, A, pullback, B, long pullback, and we would be in this candle right now. And exactly we would be here in this little pullback here. And yeah, the next move is up here. I mean, for the really bullish tracking, okay? So you would, for the bullish tracking, you would go somewhere here, then pull back here, and then even higher. For the alternative, we would be here. Because if you look at the daily, so you see this candle here. It here starts the gap again. And this candle only happened one time. That's why this pattern here only happens one time. That's why I'm still more bullish than this. And this went a little bit higher where the gap started. And we didn't hit that. So for the bearish alternative, we would go up. We would reject somewhere between $6 and $5. And extremely quick go down to a new low. Like here. Boom. And after that, the next I would expect 1 to 3 months, we would slowly grinding up. If we are doing that, that's why if we see a gap up to 5 or 6, I'm out. Just saying. I will leave some runners, but I'm out because then I think it's this. But even then, I would imagine that, let's say latest March 2026, we have the next chance for a gap up. So I'm still bullish. For confirmation lines, for the bullish version, I think you won't get a confirmation line to the upside because it will be a pre-market push finish. For bearish confirmation, if this was really already this, always have a note. Everything under 287, I would say, okay, we are on the way to our low, and then we just have to wait for this to be finished. Then we just look that up again. But right now, it looks fantastic. Okay, next one is OCGN. So I only have a bullish version here too. So for the whole overview, this is your first fractal, finished. And right now we are in the second one. And this would be your high low. This whole thing would be your A. This whole thing would, and we would right now be in the B, which has to be higher than the peak, has to be higher than our A. And for me, it would be the M line at 177. But this is a small mover, just saying. I think there's only shares also. There's an option chain. I think maybe there's an option chain. But again, it's a slow mover, so you have to go far out with the options, or you go in the money, and yeah. So what did we do? The A pullback is finished. We did a perfect V&A for the big A pullback. This whole thing would be your higher low, which is also finished. And right now we would go to our little A. For the micro tracking, we already did our little A, and we already did our little B. And in my opinion, the B pullback is also finished. We perfectly hit the fib line, so we should go up. Everything over 191 is bullish. There's still a chance, because this is the fib line without log, that we still go down here to the fib with log, and then we go. What I don't want to see is a break of 117. Then I have to do an alternative. Yeah, but also this thing looks bullish. So next one, our GNS. I also only have a bullish version here because the bearish one kills this ticker. Not company, but this ticker. So we're coming from our C, lower, high, midpoint T. We already did our A peak, and we are in the A pullback right now. So let's look. I have two versions here. The first one, the green is right. Second one, the red is right. So we start with the green one. We broke our last V and higher low. Okay. So next chance, this was our V, higher low, and we break. Everything over 98 cents bullish, everything over 128 fantastic. For the bearish bullish bearish alternative would mean that this was your T, this V under A and this higher low is wrong, and this A with this bottom is right, and we still have to do this one, higher low, and go. Right now, oh, this thing is also waiting on something, so it gets interesting. I'm 50-50 right now. I mean, 20 cents, who cares? What I don't want to see is anything under 34 cents, because then this plays that for me. Simple as that. But this thing looks quite finished, just saying. And as I always saying, in my opinion, you won't see this. You will just see this. As always, V high low run, V high low run, V high low run, quick mover. And your target for B is at $87. Sounds crazy, but yeah, no, that's your M line, so B should be there. So FFAI. Also, I only have a bullish chart, or it's dead. So for this, you're coming from your C, you did your lower high, this is your midpoint, this is your T, we already did our V and A. For T, your target for next A is 153, and if you're taking my rules 1-to-1, for M, so your B should be at $4,000. And the same, like, what was it? Was it FCEL? Yeah, I think it was FCEL. I'm 99.99999% sure you won't see FFAI at $5,000. Not without a split. There's a chance we go up here, but with a split. Just saying. For realistic price targets, from your T, you have here your M, so your P target is $11. For T, for your next A, would be $4. And in my opinion, especially because it's an electric car company, you will go up here somewhere in this range here. you will reject, and the ticker is dead. I'm not saying it's going bankrupt, it will be bought up by someone or something else. But yeah, I mean, who cares in that case? We are only playing this one. So, what did we do? So here also we broke our last V, but so we did our V, high, low, ABC. Here's our lower high, midpoint, T is perfect. Here's our perfect V and A. And as I always saying, the only job this stock has to do is holding this high low. Only thing. It's still holding. It's still looking absolutely finished. And the same like GNS. I don't think we will see this. We will just see this. On FFAI even more. Just saying. So for confirmation levels, everything over 168, bullish. Everything over 190, which in my opinion we maybe already don't see it anymore. For bearish alternative, we can still go down here. If we touch this trend line or go under this V under A and this high low is wrong. And we still have to do a new V under A, a new high low. But we are not allowed to break under $1 because that makes this high low fall. So somewhere in here, perfect if we break this place over. Just here. Okay, last one for this 1 hour long video is bull. So for bull, this is our tracking here. So I think the daily is enough. Yeah. So we're coming from our C to our V. Here you even see the A. So you have a perfect V and A. This would be a high low, and this whole thing. Oh no, even more. I think I have. Okay, this whole thing till here is still our A with our A pullback. So what did we do this week? So we came from our C, which is our A, perfectly. Midpoint T. Right now still perfect V and A. And the same like FFAI, the only thing we have to do is holding this high low. We are not allowed to break under, I also have an alert here, not allowed to break under 1055. If you're doing this is wrong. And here even more danger than in FFAI because we're not allowed to break 1026. If you break 1026, this whole A is wrong. And I really have to do it completely new. So if you break this, you still have a chance to do a V and a V high low here, but you not have a lot of room left. So don't do it. But if right, everything over $12 bullish, everything over $13 we are ready. And your next target is B at $33. And you can also track this symmetrical as always. You're taking this price action, flip it to here and read it from right to left, which means you come up, A, pullback, you come up, same peak, and this whole downtrend here, this small one, is this big downtrend here, just because the repetition of the fractal is most of the time bigger and longer, and we would be in this range here. And the next thing we would expect is this movement. And for the future, if this is right, This is nothing else than a cup and handle. And after that, you know how to track that, if you know what a cup and handle pattern is. But this will take years, or 1-2 years. Okay. Just an hour-long video. And I have to do it in German too. Okay. So, if you have questions, write it in the comments, please. If you have wishes for other stocks we should look at, write it in the comments. If you liked it, especially the video at the start, give me a like. And yeah, let's see what happens next week. And thank you for watching. See you next time.